This is View from the Top. I'm Modele Sharafa Yusuf, and I thank you for tuning in. She first came into national consciousness when she led a team of professionals to work on sanitizing public procurement as pioneer head of the Budget Monitoring and Price Intelligence Unit. Since then, Madam Due Process, or Mrs. Oby Ezekwesili, has been unrelenting in trying to get the best deal for Nigeria and Nigerians. A two-time minister and former World Bank Vice President, Mrs. Ezekwesili, is my guest on View from the Top today, and I want to thank her sincerely. Thank you, Mrs. Ezekwesili, for joining us. Here's a warm welcome to you too. Let's get you further acquainted with my guest before we settle down to our conversation. Oby Ezekwesili was born on April 28, 1963. She holds a master's degree in international law and diplomacy from the University of Lagos, as well as a Master of Public Policy and Administration from Harvard University. She also worked at the Center for International Development at Harvard University. Mrs. Ezekwesili started off in the Obasanjo administration as the pioneer head of the Budget Monitoring and Price Intelligence Unit, also known as the Due Process Unit. She then served as a Minister of Solid Minerals and then as Minister of Education. She was also Vice President of World Bank's Africa Division from May 2007 to May 2012. Mrs. Ezekwesili was a co-founder of Transparency International and a pioneer director of the Global Anti-Corruption Body based in Germany. Let us start with politics. In March 2014, you delivered a keynote speech at the National Summit of the All Progressives Congress. You criticized the many migrating governors at that time and urged the party to a conversation deeper than how they were going to chase the PDP out of office. Do you think they heeded that advice?
I don't think that I have actually monitored what they have done subsequently, but I just knew that it was necessary for any conversation about a changeover of political leaders of our system to be about the issues that matter to the citizens. It needed to be a conversation on governance, not a conversation on political platforms. Because, I mean, we've had all kinds of political platforms in our country, and that hasn't led to very visible change in the quality of life of citizens. And so if anyone was going to talk about change, it needed to be change in the real sense of change, not change of party acronyms.
While we're on that topic, let me ask you for a quick assessment of President Buhari's first year in office. How would you rate him on the three main platforms on which he came to office? The fight against corruption, improvement of the economy, and anti-corruption, and fight against terrorism.
On the security agenda, I think that this government has done considerably well. I really applaud what the military has so far achieved. It was disastrous and very painful. In fact, very degrading of our human dignity to have seen our military running away from the terrorists that we wanted them to tackle. And so since this administration, we have seen an improved and certainly more result-oriented military. The entire military force has proven that the institution can be rebuilt, and quickly too. So they are more motivated, they are more focused, and we're seeing results. Whether it's in terms of the fact that almost all the territories are now reported to have been taken back from an occupying force that was a bunch of, a brigade of terrorists, to the fact that many citizens that we were not even told had been abducted and so were missing have now been recovered. That's a very, very important progress that has been made. Of course, on the security side of things, all is not perfect. I mean, we're not there. They've degraded the capacity of this group to be an occupying force, but they still have some level of threat over the country. And so, ensuring that our intelligence capability become so strong that we feel as safe and secure as possible, and that many of our millions of our citizens that are in internally displaced people's camps would be able to return home and resume their livelihood. That's going to be very, very important. The whole process of reintegration, resettlement, and the rehabilitation, and you know, that's going to be colossal investment to get communities and the citizens back to normal life.
Former President Obasanjo was recently quoted as saying that it is doubtful if the current administrative system is imbued with the right mix of skills and values to successfully implement a well-articulated program of change. Do you share those sentiments?
I kind of look at it as being a matter of the deployment and the level of inspired leadership of the team that has been assembled. I think that if the president would spend more time connecting the ideas and the skills that they have brought with them, we could actually get some good results.
You were a co-founder of Transparency International, and we got a sense that you wanted the last administration out of office. You don't have to confirm or deny that. You, like many people, cited corruption as one of the reasons. From your vantage position, you must have known that things were bad. But given the things that are now being alleged, did you think that things were that bad?
I figured, based on analysis of the way that the revenues from oil were being reflected in usage and report and availability, that the numbers were not adding up. And as a matter of fact, even from the time that I was at the World Bank, because as the VP for the World Bank in charge of Africa region, the countries of Africa are usually your clients. And so Nigeria was one of my client countries. And so I had to know everything about the public finance. And the numbers weren't adding up after a while. And so I would raise those questions in bilateral discussions, and responses would be given, and I would give some advice. By the time of 2013, which was about some months after I returned, January 2013, I returned home about May, June. And I was the convocation day lecturer for the University of Nigeria, my alma mater. And I spoke on the matter of oil and restoring the dignity of Nigeria through human capital. And so I paid special attention to the matter of oil economy, oil revenue management, and the challenges. And there I stated it clearly that there was squandering of resources going on, and that the government needed to do differently so that we would not waste the fifth oil boom. That was 2013. And I got pelted with all kinds of insult as a result of that. But I was sure of the numbers that were reflecting as indicator that something was not going right. I was very sure.
But do you reckon that we've only seen the tip of the iceberg from what's in the public space right now?
This is beyond shocking. I mean, I'm actually, sometimes I look at Nigerians just carrying on as if nothing is being said to them. And I kind of think that we perfected a way to keep ourselves sane. There's a kind of level of pillaging of public resources that you begin to hear so often. And the only way you can deal with it is to get a coping strategy. So I believe that Nigerians have found their coping strategy by not internalizing what they hear. So they hear all these billions ferreted out of the public treasury, shared as gift. Even Ali Baba and the, is it how many thieves? And the 40 thieves doesn't even come close to some of what we have been reading. And somehow the society is inured from feeling anything. It's a coping strategy. People are saying, here I am trying to eke out a living, trying to figure out how to train 4 children and, just put body and soul together. And then you keep telling me about billions, just take your news with you. So it's become like a coping strategy for Nigerians. And that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing because it is quite dangerous for society to be comfortable with pillaging of public resources.